receive the cup. There's nothing to beat a win at Wembley.
Black who's going to go for it. Black for the 1 point to win the grand final for Halifax, and he's done it. Ben Black strikes.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Talking the Facts of Life, sponsored by Eclipse Energy. My name's Mike Egg, and joined as always is producer extraordinaire, Mr. Rich Farrell.
And Fax fan, keep forgetting that one.
It's given that we're a Fax fan, given these days back here. It's been a while, but hopefully it's worth it, because we are joined by Fax legend, the captain, unbelievable, Scott Murrell. Welcome to join us.
Thank you. How are you doing?
Not too bad. It's been a while since we've done a podcast, mainly because trying to get you tied down to actually sit still for an hour to do this. But hopefully it's all worth it for everyone. So without further ado, let's get straight into it.
Been grafting on
So, like everyone else, we're in the unprecedented times and all that sort of jazz. How are you finding lockdown? Keeping yourself busy? If anyone follows you on social media sees that you're grafting a while. How's it going?
Yeah, it's been all right. The first 6 weeks, I were homeschooling kids, and it's fair to say I learnt more then in them 6 weeks than I did in my full time at school. But one of my best pals who went to school, we needed a little bit of help on his groundworks and stuff like that. So for the last 6 weeks, apologies that I haven't been able to get on this, but for the last 6 weeks I've been helping him building. So
Yeah, we said you were quite elusive, Muzzer. You're more elusive on here than you are on field, anyway.
Double that. I've got proper builder's hands now. I've got rough hands, not my little office hands, what I normally have. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. It is what it is at the end of the day, innit? We're all in the same situation, and until the government gives us them guidelines where we can get back, we'll have to keep doing what we're doing.
Is it tough to kind of keep yourself motivated mentally, because there's talk of Super League being back in August, but obviously Championships different?
Basically, just for my own mental state more than anything, just keeping active, and just because obviously in the first 6 weeks I were at home all the time with the kids and looking after them. You still need your own time and your own space, and having to get out that hour a day and do some exercise, it were just really benefited myself. Really, I've lost a couple of pounds. I last just put up some locks on cupboards and that, like I did for kids when they were younger. So I've lost a bit of weight doing that. So yeah, I've just been enjoying it really. Last weekend I met up with Rob Warrency and Ed Barber, went and did Scamden Steps. So what I've never done before, which were pretty tough. But yeah, it's just obviously some news will come out soon of what's going to happen with the league, if it's this year or if it's next year, but we'll see.
Can I just ask, is it one of those? Do you feel like, because obviously we only played 4 games before the season was brought to a halt, do you feel like the pre-season work that you did to build your fitness up early in the year is gone, or is it something that you can top up as you go along?
I think your game fitness is different to your running and your stuff you do in training, so obviously we'd need to get the games back up and going to get your match fitness, but you can keep yourself fit and healthy in this off season when it's nice to have a bit of time off from the game, like as in the off season you have 6 weeks off, but you can't wait to get back and be with the kids. Nothing better when you've been with as you'll know, a group of lads and having that banter with each other and being in each other's company. I might get under people's skin when I'm there, but even I think Tyra said that he's missing me from getting into my weight. But yeah, it's just that camaraderie you have with your teammates and that love you have for each other. Really, you're just missing that a little bit.
Well, yeah, I'd said the same to Tyra when you're on a podcast. Do you think it could be blessed in disguise? You're both coming to the end of your careers. You basically had a few months off of contact and stuff. Do you think it could potentially increase your career in terms of the longevity of it, or like what are your thoughts on that? You're just taking it as it is?
Now I'm not playing games. I feel like I can play for 10 years, but after I play one game, I'll be like, oh, I've only got about 3 games left. Yeah, like every interview I do, it's like I say, as long as I'm still enjoying going out on that field and I can do and playing, not letting the team down and doing my part in the team, I'll keep playing myself.
What's the one thing that you miss about the actual game itself? You mentioned like camaraderie and that's the sort of social side of it. What's the one part of the actual 80 minutes that you miss?
competing. Try to win stuff and try to better someone else and try to beat the opponents and try to get one over on someone. I'm missing competing week in, week out against.
Have you been taking kids on at Scrabble and Cadet 4 and all that and battering them then?
Arm wrestles, I haven't lost yet. But, my amateur club, Drigglington, have started training in sixes, in fives in a coach. So they've asked me to go down tonight. So I'll be going down and making one in with them and just to get a little bit of normality back.
Good stuff.
Also, I coach under nines at Drig as well, and we've been doing as Zoom sessions with them, and the club are putting some insurance measures and all that into place for so we can get back on the field and get them going as well. They need a bit of normality in their life. They've been cooped up in their houses and stuff like that. So just to get them back out on that field in groups of 5, and obviously there's no contact or anything like that, but just getting them active and out there will be great.
Is that where you kind of see your future then? Like, obviously you're very well connected with Drigglington and that, and you are assistant coach at Fax. What would you prefer to do? Have you even thought about life after playing, apart from kind of like the basics at Drig?
I'm going to build houses now. No, I've always wanted to be a coach and give that back a little bit back to the youth for what I've learned through my career and stuff like that. So it's just it's a no-brainer for me. My son plays down there at Drig. My eldest son plays for Shawcross, but my youngest son plays for Drigglington, and I go down there and I coach that team. But it's just I'm going to be there anyway, so I might as well give something back what I've learned over the years.
What, you're going to be there sat at bar, you mean, normally?
I will be getting a new club, so when that opens July 4th, I'll be propping that up.
Just walking up to the bar and just pointing at all memorabilia, all shirts and that. Did you know who I am?
Yeah, we're going to get a crap band in, so I might get Fazzers.
Can't afford us, mate, sorry.
So obviously you started off at Drig and that, and you did what both me and Rick dreamt of doing, playing for your hometown team, albeit quite briefly. What was it like to actually play for Leeds? And probably the question I've got is that like the culture there, because you hear a lot about the culture within Leeds and how it kind of breeds winners. Have you taken quite a lot of that out for your career afterwards?
Yeah, I think that's still in me now. The stuff that I learnt when I was 16, 17, 18, coming through it started off with Darryl Powell and under Stuart Wilkinson in that academy, and then them standards they set the kids at that age. It's lasted with me for my full careers. The culture what they built in that I think it was like 2002. I signed there as a 16-year-old, and the stuff what they bred into me at that young age. It's still with me now where I'm playing for Halifax and trying to give it back to the younger players in our team.
What was it like walking into a...
It's one of those. It's obviously well mentioned that you came through the ranks at Leeds. You had some competition in front of you. Obviously, you had 2 future Great Britain halfbacks ahead of you. Do you believe that if either one of those 2 or both of those 2 weren't there, that you would have been able to really make your name in that Leeds team that went on to do what they did over the years?
I'd like to think I believe in my own ability that I would have been able to, but I do believe as well if people sat there till 2009 till one of them to retire to get me chance, but they had a quality team did Leeds at that point. In my positions where I was playing with Rob Burrows and Danny Maguire and also Kevin Sinfield at loose forward, so the best thing for me at my career at a 20-year-old was to move on, and I did that, and that's when I went to Hull.
It's a brave step to take as a young lad to drop down the division. Did you have other Super League offers, or was Hull KR like the main place?
It happened out of blue, really. I had a 5-year deal at Leeds. I had 4 years left on it, and got to end of year, and obviously we're getting to like 19, 20-year-old. I needed some game time, so they spoke to me about a few options, going out on loan to different championship clubs, or they said you could leave and find your own club. And then I were really good mates with Tommy Gallagher. He played under Justin Morgan at Toulouse, and I got Justin had took him to Hull KR with him, and they'd signed an halfback who was a number 6, but then when it come to getting his visa, he couldn't get one, and it was like, I think it was like, I did all the pre-season with Leeds Rhinos in 2005, like December 2005, and then going into January, and then Tommy phoned me in January and just said, we need an halfback, this can't come, would you come? And I thought, oh, yeah, I would do, knowing what Leeds had just told me.
Yeah.
So the both clubs contacted each other and spoke to OKR about money and stuff, ended up being on a little bit more money, so that as a young kid, that's all I was really thinking about. Just passed my driving test as well, so I had a way to get down that M62, and just went at it really. And for me now, looking back, it's the best thing I ever did.
Yeah, well, you see, you're still a club legend over there, and you kind of asked for a better first season to win a championship and get promoted. Who'd have thought it? Who'd have thought that'd ever work? Winning young player of the year as well. It's where myself and Rick would have first seen you there.
Yeah, we hated your guts, was it?
Beat you by 80 that year, I reckon.
80, it was 88-6, I think it was.
Yeah.
Luckily, I wasn't there that day.
I was. That's why I hate your guts still.
I was at an Arctic Monkeys game in Blackpool, and I was on all day sesh, and my sister texted me going, "We're losing 40-0." I thought, oh, it must be 4-0. We're doing all right. And then it was like, no.
We were lucky to only be 40 down as well. Because of this man here.
We had a good blend of youth, like a young team. People who hadn't quite made it in Super League and had a point to prove, and Justin really got best start in us. Well, obviously that was the first year they went full time. Neil Hudgell had invested money in getting a bigger pitch. If you can remember, Old Craven Park used to have a dog track round it.
Yeah.
So Neil invested some money in getting a new pitch laid, and it really suited the style of rugby.
And obviously, you were playing in that team with one of your best mates as well, weren't you? In Ben Cockayne. Was that when that relationship blossomed, or did you know each other before you moved to KR?
Didn't know each other before, so I became best mates really. I didn't have no OKR training kit, so I was still training in my Leeds Rhinos training kit what I got that year, and turning up and that, and every day taking out my clothing off me what he was taking some Leeds Rhino training kit off me. Hey, up, cock, can I have that? Can I have that? So I end up with about one t-shirt and one shorts, and we really.
What, you think you were fanboying you or something?
No, Ben had gone a different route to me. Obviously, I'd done my route as I'd gone scholarship, academy, first team at Leeds. Ben had gone army, gone to a few clubs, never really got his shot. He went to Hunslet, then he went to Doncaster, and Justin Morgan seen him playing for Doncaster, and that's how he got his shot really. So he went with it. Probably I went the easy route really. I were always in the eyes of people who round rugby circles, and he went the hard route. So he deserves everything he gets, but he works hard everything he does.
Still playing obviously as well, isn't he? So
I think he did his ACL at York, didn't he? He's coaching kids at OKR now, under 16s and assistant at 18s. But with me and Ben, we used to travel as routine. Well, we'd play Sunday, we'd go out on a Sunday night in Hull, then we'd train Monday, train Tuesday, and then it were Tuesday nights in Pontefract. It were 75p drinking biggies. So we used to go. He used to live in Normanton, so we used to stay at his on the Tuesday night, go out there, Wednesday day off, Thursday, Friday train, Saturday day off, Sunday game, out in Hull. So that was routine every week for about 20 weeks. It was nice because we were getting winning pay every week, enjoying ourselves. All lads were enjoying each other's company after a game, and that helps you on field as well.
Well, we've seen that at Fax, haven't we? And how much of this sort of bond that you have off the field as mates can contribute to it on it. Because as you said, we've all played a game before. You know that you will defend twice as hard if it's someone on each shoulder that you really care about, and you know their personal situation that's going to cost them and their family money or whatever. You're going to fight that bit harder, aren't you? So.
Yeah. I think we've got a good relationship with everybody at Halifax. It's a bit harder that you're part time to enjoy that. Obviously, the lads work through all the day, so it's hard to enjoy your time off together because the lads are working and stuff like that. But after training and after games and stuff, it's always nice to get out with the lads and have a beer.
Do you enjoy the responsibility Do you enjoy the responsibility of being captain that brings in, or are you just naturally that sort of person that brings everyone together?
I don't know. When I first come to Halifax and Carl asked me, it was a bit of a surprise really, because I was coming into a new group. None of the lads really knew me, and then he said, "I'm going to make it captain." I thought, oh, all these lads have been together for quite a while now, and what they're going to think of me coming in and then even giving me captaincy. Obviously, I've known Carl all my life. We used to go watch him when he played for our Leeds fan, but when he was playing for Halifax, he used to go watch him up at Fromall and stuff like that. He lived 2 streets away from me now. If I look out the window, I'll probably be able to see him in his garden. So Carl's a really good friend of mine, and I thought I was just thinking what the lads would think really, and that for me as a captain at a club, I don't really think about it. I still do the actions what I'd do if I were playing without being a captain, to be honest. But I do enjoy having that responsibility of leading the lads.
Well, we were a surprise to us fans when you first came and you were named captain, because, like, obviously being promoted with OKR, you've been in with Super League and stuff, and we've seen the sort of player that you were. Again, just to kind of your career come a little bit full circle. How tough was it coming down from Super League again from OKR to Halifax, coming from a full-time environment to a part-time environment? How did it come about?
Well, basically, I had OKR offered me a 2-year deal and a lot less money than I were on. And obviously, Carl being close to my family and spoke to my dad and, all right, Cat, you all right? That little friend fast. Carl spoke to my dad and obviously told him that they'd be interested. So me and Carl had a little chat, went and met up with Crody, and it just seemed right, really. It just seemed right for me and for Halifax. And I signed as a loose forward to start with, and then about 3 games into the season, Carl moved me into half-back, and then I've been back there. So
too quick for loose forward, were you?
Too quick and too hard. I've been a half-back all my career, and then Justin Morgan moved me to loose forward when we signed Paul Cook, and I've been a loose forward then, and then obviously come back to Halifax and gone back to half. So it's really enjoying it. Felt a bit more when I went at OKR coming to the end of there. I don't think Craig Sandercock saw me as one of their main players or something like that. So when I come to Halifax, I felt appreciated, if you know what I mean, for the stuff what I give to the team, and it really brought my game on. I feel like I've been playing better rugby towards the end of my Halifax career than I did towards the end of my OKR career, to be honest.
It's like you've answered all the questions that I had in terms of the prep I've done.
He's like, professional, mate.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Like I say, he's only just started working. This is what he spends his days doing, prepping.
But yeah, it's like, obviously we knew you at OKR as a 6, and then when you get to Super League, you start off as 6, and then Paul Cook, a massive name to come in there, and we've seen you play loads of different positions. Are you happy to play those different positions, or were you kind of like, hang on, I'm the 6 that's got you promoted?
Yeah,
what's going on?
I think that's what happened towards me in my OKR career. I didn't really have a set position. 1 week I was playing 9, 1 week I was playing 6, 1 week I was playing off bench at 13, 1 week I was starting at 13. So it's good. It's good in one way where you know you're going to be in a team, but you don't know where you're going to be playing. So it's hard to get your consistency in your performances. So where you get, if I'm playing stand-off every week, I know what I need to work on and what I need to do better and what I'm looking at on previews and stuff like that. And when I was playing different positions, I had to work it out in my mind what I needed to do that week for the team, what was better for the team. But if I'm doing that at OKR, it's better my game now because I understand every role in the team because I've played it. I haven't just played one position. So if I'm playing half-back, I know what that second role needs me to do. And vice versa with the loose forward or the 9. If I've played 9, so I know that I need that ball out in front of me, so I can take the defence on. And so if I play 9, I know it's benefited me now for my Halifax career doing that all the different roles for OKR.
Justin Morgan told a story on your testimonial video I'm sure we'll come on to that at some point, about a story about you playing prop against Catalan. And he said that your whole team were busted up and they had no one else that were willing to go out there and do it. And you went out there and played. So what I want to know is, how was playing prop in Super League against Catalan as a academy halfback? How was that?
Yeah, it were good, really. What happened is, obviously they signed Cookie that year, and I was playing sub 9. So me and Ben Fisher played for Halifax. We were rotating at 9, and it was my turn to come off bench, and he turned around and they were looking, and I think Danny Ward were off with split face. Mick Vella had done his knee. And he went, "What am I going to do?" And I went, "Oh, I'll play." Went prop. I went, "Yeah." He says, "Chuck me on." And I went on for the last 20 minutes and played prop. Didn't carry the ball much, but I just got stuck in tackling.
Yeah, you got to love those props that are all useful to teams that don't carry the ball. Really good.
Oh, yeah. I just did a lot of support. Dummy running. A lot of dummy runner.
Pushing through every time, so you can't be there to have the ball promoted.
Out back.
So in terms of Old Car, we'll kind of wrap the Old Car up now, because there's one thing I do want to know. Within my little bit of research, found that when he celebrated going up, there was a celebration with King Billy.
Oh, good times. Good times.
if you can divulge.
So we put a party on after we got promoted. Went back to somewhere called Platform 1. That were for all family and friends and stuff like that. It got to about 2:30, and one at Fan Zone, the pub called the King Billy. Just opposite, if you look at where Deep is, when you're going into the thing, if you look left into Old Town there, it's just there. And there's a statue outside it, big horse. I was new to the town and stuff like that, and everybody knows when I have a few beers, I don't mind getting me off. And I didn't know that over the road were the courts for the Hull courts and stuff like that. So I took my clothes off and I was running around the statue and try to climb it and stuff like that. And then next day, Neil Jull, being a solicitor, gets a phone call off the courts saying that one of your players are running around there. So got a little slap on the wrist, if we say that.
They definitely know how to celebrate these things, don't we?
We do. We got around here. I think it was about 3 days we did.
I just want to ask you really quick before we wrap up on KR about, obviously, there's a lot of talk in sporting events about local derbies, and there's a few in rugby league. The biggest one probably being Saints and Wigan, the original one. But you got a chance to play in.
There's only one derby, Hull and FC.
Well, it's not technically true, but whatever. I want to ask you, what was it like to play in a Hull derby, home and away? What was the build-up like in the week? You know, obviously you're not a Hull lad yourself; you're a Leeds lad, so you won't have lived there. But what was it like going to Hull every day for training? Could you feel the sort of tension building around that? What are those games like?
Yeah, you can. Obviously, when you're just walking around the town or the city, the people just getting in. You're going to get it this week. You're going to get it this week. But the families are divided. There's some people who are all FC in their families and they're all KR. So it's massive for them, the people of a city. And it's just probably KC Stadium. I think it was highest, like 20,000 there. It was just unbelievable. And when you beat them in front of their own fans, they don't like it as well. And it's I can't really explain it. It's just putting goose pimples talking about it now, and it's just something that I can't explain really, but it's just an unbelievable feeling.
And I'm not rubbing it in or anything, but you didn't get a chance to play at Wembley as a player yet. Do you think that's the closest you get to a feeling of playing in a big cup final like that, where it's just so noisy and so all-encompassing passion, basically?
I like your passion, yet.
You're right. Yeah, we got fourth last year.
Yeah. The atmosphere was unbelievable, mate. Packed. When it's even Kevin Park, when it's only a small ground, but it's electric when you've been there. When we played them in the middle eights and stuff like that, they're just non-stop singing and they're just that passionate. It's unbelievable, and it does help you when you're in a game and scoring a try against them and diving up and celebrating and winding them all up. It's a good feeling.
So that's where it all started.
Another thing that we see in old derbies as well, and still your characteristic is the big hits. One of my genuinely my favourite hits is the one that you put on Fitzgibbon that you put on him.
Smooshed him.
How did that feel like putting it on and looking down? You seeing an Australian international at your feet.
I used to look up to him, mate. I was thinking.
Literally.
You don't think in game day, but like after when you thing is, I used to watch him when he was playing for New South Wales and Australia and stuff like that, and then now I'm playing against him and Ben Kane's whooping in his face when I've smashed him. He says to Ben, "F off back to your wing, you little rat." Yeah, it was just good times, isn't it? Good time, good to look back at. It's good. It's obviously when you're in the moment and you're in the game, you don't really think about it, but it's just like looking back now as a little bit old. It's good to watch.
Do you think, like, just a kind of bit of a generalisation? You mentioned like yeah, not necessarily going to win any Mr. Bodybuilder contest anytime soon. And that. Do you think? There you go.
Take my ribs now.
I know I'm very well
in the barbecued
throwing stones here. Do you think people kind of underestimate you in terms of the creativity that you have, but also in terms of defensive work that you do as well? And do you thrive on that?
Yeah, I don't know really. I just as you both know me personally, I don't take it too seriously. I want to win and I want to, but if someone's, I don't know if the people in the crowd are shouting at me, they think they can get under my skin and put me off my game. I just smile at them and have a laugh, and I'll even have a talk to them. I just say, keep it coming, it's good, and have a laugh with them. If I think they shout at me to try to put me off my game, but I take it as a compliment. But as I know, when I turn around and smile at them with my 4 teeth, that it don't bother me whatsoever.
Is it one of those things that you use to drive you on then? Because obviously, it's weird. You say we know you personally. You're like two different people off and on the pitch. You've got that switch. Is it stuff like that you use for motivation, or have you always naturally had, you mentioned you're competitive, have you always just naturally been like that anyway, where you just want to win, you know?
Yeah, I think that's, I just want to win everything. It's how big or small it is. If you ask my brother, when we were growing up, when he beat me on FIFA on Sega Mega Drive or whatever it was, I used to, if I were losing with 10 minutes to go, I used to turn it off and run out because I didn't want to lose.
Quitting.
Oh, yeah, rage quitter. No.
So I used to turn it off and then he'd chase me around and try to chin me. But yeah, I think that's just been in me from a young age that I want to win everything I do. I'm not right good at spelling tests or all like that, but in sport I want to win.
Do you think it's a kind of thing like in football, Wayne Rooney, if he didn't have the aggression, it'd be half the player? Do you think if you didn't talk to players or have a laugh with fans and that, you'd be kind of half the player in that respect then?
I think that's your personality, isn't it? And
yeah,
you can't change it. You don't want to change anybody, do you? Obviously, you want to make people better players by technicality and awareness of opponents and stuff like that. But if it's in someone's personality, it's like aggression. You've got aggressive players. You want them to be aggressive, don't you? But you want to do them in the right manner. So you don't want them to set people's heads off, but you still want them to be aggressive to get one over on their opponent. So I think it's a personality trait as well as a thing what you want. You can't put it in. You can't put it in someone to be. I'm not going to be aggressive. I'm not going to take ball in and try to twat someone and scream and shout at them like that. But I might try to trip them up and be cheeky or something like that. 'Cause that's my personality.
Have you ever had a coach try and sort of take that away from you, take that out of you, coach that out of you?
I won't say he tried. I think Craig Sanger, he didn't understand my personality. I don't think. But Justin got on with me. I spoke to him the other week, or FaceTime the other week when we both had a few beers, and still speak to him now. And talks about when he used to come out. We were all a young Justin, so he'd come out of us a couple of times, and every 2 minutes, bouncers were telling him to get me off tables, dancing and stuff like that.
Never.
I don't do it now. I've grown up. Either that or not allowed out.
Definitely. Do you think it's something that you'll carry on in your coaches as well? If you saw a lad who resembles yourself, kind of thing, would you obviously nurture that as well?
Yeah, I think people respond differently to how you speak to them. You'll know it in any walk of life. Someone might need a tap on back and say, "Come on, mate, you can do this. You can do this." some might need a bollocking. I react better to bollockings myself personally. If I'm getting tapped on my back, you don't know you don't know that you're doing something wrong really. If you're getting smoke blown up your bum, but if you're getting a rollicking, it really spurs me on, and I don't want to let that person down. And if I think I'm letting someone down, then that hurts my pride.
Fair dues. So we've reached the end of the first part. Stick with us. We'll be back in a couple of seconds. Hello, welcome to the second part of Talking Facts of Life, sponsored by Eclipse Energy. Joining myself and Rick is the unbelievable Captain Marvel, Scott Murrell. Thank you very much for joining us again. We're going to talk more about Halifax at this point, because that's the whole point of the bloody podcast, really. When you did sign for Halifax, you said that you know Harrison quite well and that. Do you think that was like your last move? Do you say, right, this is my career now, or were you kind of hoping to get back into Super League, or what were your thoughts when you first joined?
I don't know really. I think I did have that initial, because in my contract I had that if a Super League club comes in, I could leave. And Wakefield did approach me in my first, I think it was after about 10 games of playing for Halifax. So then we sat down with Crody again and we renegotiated, and I ended up signing, I think it was like a 3-year deal. We took the Super League clause out after 10 games, and when I did after that, then I just said I was playing for Halifax. Right
decision then, you reckon?
But definitely. As you can see, I just enjoy playing the game. I love playing for Halifax. I love competing, like I've said earlier, and as long as I've got that smile on my face, I'll keep doing it. And obviously, the club wants me.
You've had quite a bit of Super League interest, though, haven't you? In your time at Halifax, Wakey have inquired about you a few times, have you mentioned? But I think the one that I saw the other week that's probably the biggest compliment was when Leeds were struggling with relegation, and Gary Schofield was saying, "Get Scott Murrell into the Leeds team. He would steer us around." What did you make to those comments? You know Gary at all?
How much did you pay him to say that?
That cost me a few pints. That, but no, yeah, he knows. Obviously, my dad played when for Leeds, and he come through at Leeds, and so yeah, we do know it. I do know Gary. I know his son as well, Johnny Schofield. But we're quite really honest to get them comments, and obviously where I live in Leeds, so all the parents in the club and that were all asking me, "Are you coming to Leeds? Are you coming to Leeds?" And I had to let them down gently, saying, "No, I'm going to stay at Halifax."
Can't afford me.
Can't afford me. I'm going to say that. Yeah, but it's nice, isn't it? And it's nice for him to say them words, and obviously, I'm being a Leeds lad as well.
Would you have gone?
No.
Oh, good lad. Good answer.
No, it's, when we played Leeds in middle eights, when we kept 6-0 at half time or something like that.
I think, wasn't it?
6-all. And all the kids from Driglington were stood behind that stick singing at me, "You've never seen a salad." So they're still singing. So every time I see them now, every time I see their age group, there's like an under 12s now. I think they are 12s and 13s. That every time I see them, they just "Never seen a salad." And that's all I get from them.
What was it like playing against Leeds? I'm like, obviously OKR and then Fax, because
I always felt like I raised my game, to be honest. I don't know if it were like a thing that I got let go by Leeds, but I always seem to have my better games against Leeds, and obviously playing for Halifax, I've always had probably better games against OKR as well. So I don't know what it is. It must be something in my mind that I want to prove them wrong for letting me go, or something like that. I don't know.
It's different, isn't it? You're playing against people in the crowd that you know, that you've been friends with and stuff, and you want those bragging rights, don't you? You want to be able to have over them.
Yeah, it was nice to go back to Ulster that first time. Obviously, we haven't been for 2 years, and when I went and they give me like they stood up and give me like a clap and stuff like that, and all lads were giving like they were giving me some stick about that, and no, his arm and all that, and so it was nice for me to know that they did actually feel that way about me, and. But it's always nice to go back to your old clubs and get one over on them, really. Like we beat OKR to get in top 4, didn't we? At home, I think Toulouse had beat someone the day before, and then we had to beat Hull.
Well, there's a great video of you from that night, isn't there? Where, because I think it was Fev and Toulouse the night before the KR game, and if Fev won, and you popped a champagne and everything, hadn't you?
I were at a barbecue with all the mates, and I said to them, if Toulouse win, I'm going to get arseholed with you. And Fev beat him, didn't he, at last minute? And I had me, oh no. And I just went, stomped straight home, had me pasta, and went to bed. Play it next day.
Pasta for refueling or for soaking up the...
for stodge.
Yeah, the alcohol that was... No, another thing that I want to kind of come to is that we mentioned derbies and stuff, and not too long after you joined, we started playing Bradford again. Did you know about the rivalry between us? Was it easy to motivate yourself because kind of like the enemy is my friend and that sort of thing?
I knew when I first come that, like, obviously speaking to legends at a club like Ned and Cov, they remember all the glories and the battles they had against Bradford and stuff like that. But being a Leeds lad as well, I hate Bradford. I hate Bradford passion, obviously, with the Rhinos and the Bulls in the Super League. So it's always nice. It's always nice to get one over on them and to see them odd-soul people dying in them stands after. It's always nice.
It's one of those things. You've pretty much really made a name for yourself in games against Bradford over the years for Fax, haven't you? Is it one of those things, you know that what it means to the fans, or do you know that by smashing your rival often you're never going to be without a job?
I'll never have to buy a pint again.
Yeah, a bit of both, really. I don't know what it is, but I seem to do. I do a game against Bradford and have my better games against them. I think because their fans give me it. You know, like I said earlier about try getting on my back and stuff like that. So I don't want them to get one over on me. So
you just it's weird. You seem to have like a force field around you when you're playing these big games, especially on Sky. It's one of those you seem to be. What's that famous phrase? Playing in a dinner jacket. You know, is it something that you're conscious of while you're doing it, trying not to get hit, or is it just that you seem to have these perfect games when the time comes?
Hilda says to me before match that she hasn't got enough washing powder, so if you could keep your kit clean this week, I'll do us a lot of favours, so I don't go to line then and get batted. No, you don't want to cross Hilda.
It's true though. It's like when Sky showed these summer bash games and like what Rick's been putting out, these old games. I put on my Twitter that you're the king of the summer bash, and I don't think I'm taking the mick at all, really, because if you think of, I can't think of a single player in terms of the summer bash who's had a better impact than yourself, really.
Or more fun, anyway.
Yeah. Oh, that Fev celebration just is.
I'm still eating them pieces of rock they give me. What?
Yeah. Is it a case of like Tyra described it as it's an extra game in the season, so it's kind of like a free hit for extra points? Do you kind of see it as it's a big game? Is this cameras are on? We played Fev a couple of times. We played Bradford a couple of times. Is it a case of right? I'm going to step up here and do it.
I don't know what it is really, but I don't. You know me. I don't really think about the long term too much. I always think about what's next and the next game. So I won't go into this game and think, all right, if we do this here, then it'll help us further down the line. I just take every game as it is, and obviously want to win every game, and that's the mentality I've got and go into it. But I always enjoy going to summer bash. It's always a nice summer day as well, isn't it? It's always nice and sunny, and to see the blue and white army behind them sticks, and it's always we're watching that game back when we played Fev, and I think we went out in front, and then they come back and they were giving you a lot stick in stands. I think I think it was Gazok and Wildy jumping up and shouting at us stuff, and we go score later on, and their fan field chatting me because I got me belly button out.
That's a spur of the moment thing that'll last for a long time, and it was it the case that the Fed fans were giving you stick all after and about your way, and that was how you shut them up, sort of thing?
they were calling me "you fat B." They do it every time and give him a little cheeky smile and get a little belly out now and again. And then when I scored, I just thought, "You're having it here." So I'll give him it, slap my belly, and then he run upfield and little jinky cop one for him.
It was a hell of a game, that. Hell of a game.
Speaking of that, another big game, we mentioned Bradford in the quarter-final, the celebrations that happened there. It's just the perfect timing when, before Andy Ruiz beat Joshua, and then yourself with your amazing body, with shirt going over. Was that kind of spur of the moment thing, or
when he won, Ruiz beat, obviously take your clothes off, change, and all lads were calling me Andy Ruiz. After the game, I just thought it out there, and because all lads are doing it.
It made sort of like headline news around the country, didn't it? Sort of with the sort of parallels between Andy Ruiz and yourself. It's I wanted to ask you, because obviously we've mentioned quite a lot that the crowd get into you about your weight, and we're sort of living in this new kind of world. Or whatever. Does it ever really get to you, or do you just have the ability to totally laugh it off and brush it away and let it slip off your back, so to speak?
I just let it brush off my back. I believe that if they get to know me personally, their opinions don't matter. They don't know me. They know me personally, all like that. But if they know me personally, I've got that confidence in myself that they'll like me and like my personality. So when they do shout, it just more often comes back. You got to laugh at it. They want the best for their team, and they want their team to win. We want our team to win, and they're doing their best to put me off my game, and vice versa. Everybody who's a rugby league fan wants to win, don't you? You don't want to go out and see your team lose. So they've paid their money into that ground. They've paid the £22, which I think is a bit expensive. They're entitled to their opinion and to give me a bit of stick, but I'm just there in the middle. I'm just doing my bit, and they're there doing their bit on the side. I know where I'd rather be on that field, so keep it coming.
One thing we've got to talk about is, like, we'll probably talk about every single player we get on this podcast. It's Toulouse away, 2017.
Best lads holiday I've ever been on.
First of all, I loved your celebration coming straight over to fans and down in the pine that I had. Although you didn't find me one later on, which is absolutely fine. But did you kind of realise? Well, not realise, but know how important it was, and the victory would give us that momentum to go on. We spoke about it in the week up, but it were a must win. Obviously, they didn't get in that year, did they? I think without that. Yeah, no, I think we knew it were a must win game, and built it up as like a cup final really, and then getting that momentum and that confidence after that just took us on and spurred us on. Did we go like 11 games unbeaten or something on the run in?
No, that was a different season. That we won the last 4 in a row. That was 2015. 2017 was the one where we beat Bradford at home, went to Toulouse and won, and where we're talking about KR on the last day of the season.
Oh yeah. We just got that momentum going and that belief. And I think when we beat Toulouse, we thought we'd won it, didn't we? But then Fev beat him as well, so then we had to go and beat KR. But it was just like I just spoke about that. It was the best lads holiday I've ever been on in my life. After that game when we met you all in Melting Pot, didn't we?
Unbelievable.
I think Rich were talking to us about, we'll just stay in tonight. He went to the supermarket, bought us £200 worth of beers to keep us in. We supped that in an hour, and they said, "Right, Rich, we're off out."
I got told a sort of story about how he'd said, "Look, we've got a big game next week, and it's probably wise to stay in." And then he had a couple of glasses of wine himself and was like, "Get out of here, you crazy kids! Go see your fans."
Yeah. We went out and seen you all, and I'm Mika, with obviously their captain, and I'm good mates with him. And he was living next to the hotel where we were, so he come round next morning, and we were all still buzzing. We done his pool session and stuff like that, but then there were a bar, like a pool bar on, so we were having a couple more beers. We weren't flying home till 4, so we had a couple more beers, and he come round, and I'll give him a bit of stick saying thanks for the top 4 and stuff like that, and he bought all lads a beer. He bought all lads a beer around pool, so yeah, it were good to get that, but it were also good to be with boys and get away and little lads all different.
Do you think that sort of, because that to me was the day when the camaraderie of the whole club came together as one, and it really seemed like we were all in it together. Do you think that really spurred us on? Because I've spoke to a few lads that said, yeah, it were important, but we would have won those games anyway because we were going to get our money back, and that's what spurred us on. But the sort of camaraderie with the fans, you'll have seen how much it meant to us that night. Did that have any impact on the following 2 games against Fev and against KR?
Yeah, I think it will. Yeah, it will have done. It will have done for you boys, for you fans as well coming in. You obviously, you know the meaning, what we needed to do in them next games, and you'll wanted to be there and be a part of it as well. So I think it did bring us together as a club, and the lads speaking about the money what got took off us at the start of that year. I think that were a big incentive as well for the lads to earn that back, because for some of your top players like Mitch and stuff like that, it'd been quite a bit of money.
Yeah. It's sort of like you guys are my heroes, and I until that trip really I kept myself separate from players. Like if I saw people out in town, I'd be like, no, don't want to speak to them, don't speak to them at all. But knowing how much it meant to you guys, and they say that when we went melting pot and that, it kind of just like it's what I knew all along. Like you are blokes at the end of the day, you are human beings and that, and it really just showed that you are out there for us as well. You're not just these kind of on a pedestal. You are on a pedestal to us, but yeah.
We're all the same, aren't we? We all want the same thing. I keep saying this all the time. We all want the same thing. We all want Halifax to win and to be successful. Sometimes you got to go through some bad patches, and some fans will give you some stick and get on your back a bit. But at the end of the day, we all want one thing, and that's for Halifax to be successful and to be back where they belong.
Yes. One of the you mentioned it before about the pay cut, and asked Tara the same question. Was there any inkling in your mind not to take the pay cut, or were you just set like I'm doing this?
I think to start with, no one wants money taken off them, do they? No one wants money taken off them, and I think we all said that no, we can't take his money off us. But then when club spoke to us about give us like an option where we can earn it back and do that and still be together as a team, because if we didn't take it, there might have been not a club. The club might have gone. Players might have moved on. So there might have been 5 or 6 of us go to a new team. But I think we had that bond together where we trusted each other and we all wanted to be. Main thing is we all enjoyed each other's company. So why would you want to go anywhere else at that time? And it worked at the end of the day, didn't it? We got his money back and club got to top 4. So should do it every year.
Definitely. And that's where you can tell where you've got that camaraderie and team spirit. And we would like there was only Manning that didn't take the pay cut, and no one begrudged him at all. He's not held in any negativity in terms of his fans and that. But again,
it's a shame though, because if he would have stayed, he would have really gone down as one of probably the all-time great back rowers to wear Halifax colours. So from a personal point, not necessarily him. I understand it's his right and he can do what he likes. And if we were going to offer a pay cut, and he wants to keep the same money and that, but I'd really think if he'd have kept playing for Fax, he would have gone down in history as one of the great ones we'd had. I really do.
Yeah, quite a player, man. He's a workhorse, and we all got to generally go to that team on and off the field. He did leave, but next year, so I was saying that then Rich brought Grady in next year, and I think if you wouldn't have brought Grady in, I think we'd have felt the more that Manu had left. You know what I mean? I thought he brought an equivalent player in, and Shane really took that mantle of the workhorse and then line runs what Manu did. So we didn't feel as much as the team bringing Grady in, but it was a big miss, a big loss for Manu.
He saved Jono a lot of teeth, though, did he, Grades? Taking that crash ball 50 times a game.
Yeah, I know. Jono out back. Here you go, Grady.
If he weren't a good-looking lad afterwards or before, getting smashed up. So that sort of wraps. I won't say wraps up, but there's a few of sort of our favourite games. that you've played for Halifax. Do you have any ones that stand out yourself as favourite games that you've played in? Obviously, we've mentioned like the quarterfinals and things like that. Are there any ones that we necessarily wouldn't think of that you really enjoyed playing in?
Bradford at Odsall, when we beat them 42 something.
52,
52,
16,
yeah.
18.
That one,
15, 16, yeah.
Yeah, that one stands out to me. Obviously, Feather Bash, when I got my belly out, that stands out. Can't really think of any more. Oh, obviously Bolton. That's obviously to me lad's into his rugby now, and to see he thinks I'm past it and stuff like that. So for him to see me play against people like Tommy Mickinson, who were his heroes, and Johnny Lomax and Walmsley and Thompson and stuff like that, that were massive for me as a personal note, but obviously for the club as well.
Did you really think our team had the ability that we showed that day to compete against what was arguably one of the greatest Super League sides of all time?
That first half were amazing.
We just went there with no care in the world. We were not hiding to nothing. Everybody thought we were going to lose. Everybody thought we were going to get hammered. Why not go there and enjoy it? What's the point getting worked up? No one's acting out offers. So what's the point getting worked up about, oh, we're going to do this, going to do that? Let's go enjoy it. Short kick off. Let's enjoy it. Little chips, little kicks. Let's do that. And we did that, and it paid off. And I think we're a little crash. Roby scored that try, didn't he, just before half time? And I think that took a bit of a wind out of it. I think if we'd gone in at 0-0, would have come out, wasn't again for the second half. But I think that try took a little bit of a wind out of ourselves. Obviously, we're still happy with his performance and what we did, but it'd been nice to get a couple of tries as well, wouldn't it? Just for you.
Just one. We just wanted one. But to be fair, we kicked a goal, we didn't get nilled, and that was the most important for me.
Yeah, we didn't want to, but Tyra nearly crying. I want to get on the score sheet.
Against Ellen.
I want my record. I want to get my record.
Speaking of Tyra, we're talking to him.
It says that again. Let me get this on. Let me get this on this video now. If we're winning by 16, 18, 20, and he wants to go for 2 points all the time, because all he talks about is that record he wants to get. That is fact. That is fact.
He says he never mentions it, but yeah, well.
Right, ask Jinky Johnson. It's all he talks about. He's got a little tally in changing rooms when he marks them off how many got at weekend.
What, like a countdown?
Yeah, countdown.
Okay. He's going to be after you for this. But no, speaking of Tyra, we were talking to him on obviously the one that we did, and he said that the talk in the halftime, you went out against Saints and you're sort of thinking we've got nothing to lose, and he said Robbo came in at halftime and we're like, we could win this game, lads. Did you have that?
Yeah, it felt positive. Obviously to keep them to that score. I think we got lucky with a few handling errors and stuff like that. Bobby swatted Worms, got trampled by Worms, and he lost ball over the line.
Tackled ball out of his hand using his face.
Yeah. But that's what the feeling was. I think you lot had as much fun as we did, really. Obviously, we had a beer with you all after, didn't we, in that pub, and to feel it was just a good occasion, good to be played.
Absolutely.
Definitely. We had the same attitude. It's like we've got nothing to lose. No one expects us to win. Why not go there and just have fun? Because let's say me and Rick are unfortunately born at the generation where we hadn't had Wembley Cup finals. And
we missed it by like 2 years, didn't we?
I was technically there. I was 3 months conceived then, but the middle eights and that sort of stuff, and trips to Toronto. I'll get that in there. Am I cup finals at the moment? So you've got to take the rough for the smooth there, really.
Well, I apart from the final with Ulkar, I got to a semi-final with Ulkar in that first year, but I was injured, so I missed it. So apart from that would be one of the biggest games I've been part of, and obviously I got injured the week before. I thought I'd done my neck, and then texting Grixie on that spot, said I'm playing next week. I'm not missing that, and then managed to recover for hypochondriac, and then and got out on that
nasty
field.
One that you got. You got a late cheap shot to the back of the neck or something. Didn't you?
Wasn't it?
Whiplash, wasn't it?
Well, speaking of, this is a rugby league podcast. You've played a lot of games for Halifax now, but what I want to talk about is injuries in your career. How have you coped with injuries in your career? Have you had any bad ones? Have you had any ones that sort of still nigger you to this day? Anything of that sort of nature?
I've only ever had one serious injury. I had a shoulder reconstruction in 2008, touch wood. Still get pain now. Can't wipe my bum with my right arm. Got to do it with my left. And I'm right-handed, so unless I'll have to get showered out and clean me off as well if I can't get to right. So.
I love it. What was the biggest issue that came with dislocated and reconstruction of your shoulder? Was it tackling? Was it wiping my ass?
You should have been building a B-day instead of.
I've been on it all day though. Apart from that, mate, I've not really. I broke my hands, broke my arm, but not. I've been pretty lucky with injuries, really. I think it might be what you said earlier, that I play in a dinner suit and stay away from contact and stuff like that. But,
well, let's hope that carries on then.
That's like carries on for another 7 years.
Well, I'll take it on another tangent. The question that I wrote down when you mentioned Tower, that you didn't know what we were going to be. I want to ask if you could bring back one player that you've played with at Halifax into the current team, who would it be?
Probably. But Mitch is up there where I played, but when my first season, Lee Patterson, I think he's massively underrated. I think he could have played another couple of years for Halifax, but then he went on to Batley. Obviously, Carl had a change of where he wanted to go, but for me, coming in, he had all the standards and training hard and everything what you need to be a Super League player. And I think he's a massive underrated player. Is Pat Owen. I'd probably bring him back. He's still fitting us all now. I've seen how ripped he is.
Does picture with what Warren says
we're robbed of the days like granite.
He's doing well for himself, still playing, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, Sheffield now, isn't it? Sheffield.
Yeah, he's going back to Sheffield, as Warren said. We'll bring it to a close. We'll ask them kind of.
Well, I've got one more if I can.
Go on, man.
Well, you got 5 minutes.
You got 5 minutes. I wanted to ask about your testimonial, because obviously the RFL granted you a testimonial year due to your services for the game with obviously Leeds, Hull and Halifax. And obviously we helped you out. You did well at your testimonial, but the one thing that sort of fell weirdly was you weren't able to. I think it was because of the weather. You weren't able to have a testimonial game for Halifax against Hull, which was your plan. And Rich actually let you go and play a game for Hull in pre-season when you were a Halifax player, which is highly unusual. So what I wanted to ask, what were your memories of your testimonial game playing for Hull? And were you trying like hell to get stuck in, or were you trying to stay out of the way?
I probably got Halifax towards the end, but yeah, it was massive from Rich to let me do that. If I'd got injured in that, it'll have been travesty for my first season. But we meant to have a game against Hull in pre-season, and for whatever happened, we couldn't do that. And Neil says, "Why didn't you come play for us?" So I had to go ask Rich, and he went and spoke to the board, and they come up saying they'd let me play. So
see, I don't think that happens with anyone else apart from you because of what you're given and your personality. I don't think that happens with anyone else.
Yeah, and then went over and played against London. I probably got last 25 minutes. Not being big-headed at all, but Hull were losing when I went on, and we won game.
Love it. And you made out pretty well in your testimonial. Are you happy with how everything went?
Yeah, but like just for people like yourself volunteering and helping me out, and it was just obviously it's a short career, and for RFL to give me that opportunity to make that little bit of money to help me after my career, and it has done. We've put it into his house and extended his house and stuff like that. So
I wonder, have you put half of it into Driggs Bar? Is that why they're building a new clubhouse?
I'll be propping that up on July the 4th, mate. Don't you worry.
Take us to the house, Mike.
So yeah, wrap us up with some quick fire questions and stuff. Who was your rugby league hero growing up, and as you're playing, who was the hero that you kind of look up to as a player?
My hero growing up was Andy Farrell. Absolutely awesome. Managed to play against him for London when I went on loan to London when I was 17, and he was playing for Wigan at JJB, and I can remember him. He was playing standoff, I was playing standoff, and he just ran over the top of me from a scrum and went and scored from 40 metres. So that was my hero. So I gutted after that. He were one, but for standards and professionalism and training and stuff like that, growing up with Kevin Sinfield, watching him train and how he did and how he handled himself, he was just an unbelievable professional, and he was one of them blokes where he'd back out with the young kids and do extras with them like myself and do kicking and stay out and help us develop. So it was good to play under him.
And finally, the best wind-up opponent on the pitch. Who gave as good as they got?
Old putty face George Flanagan gives me some stick when we're playing against him. But he's got a melted welly face, so he can't say oh.
Anyway, well, what better way to finish?
Melted welly face. All the
Thank
kids
you
will be
very much for
using it
joining
by
us,
tonight.
Scott. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for all that you do, and everyone else for listening. Thank you very much. Up the facts.
Up the facts.